Hello, my fellow Libras. Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement. Schoolhouse Intuitive here with your April monthly reading. So for April 2026, we're going to look into oracle cards, tarot cards. I'll share channeled messages, and I will actually be using my crystal ball here. So we'll do a little scrying here with this. And I'm actually, oh my gosh, this is exciting. I'm actually seeing a sword. I am seeing a sword here. And I'm also seeing, so this could be, clarity, truth, air element, right? And that's us. So I'm seeing that, but I also am seeing, it's sort of like it's an animal, but they're turned the other way. So it's sort of, it's a little unclear. I feel like you're taking a risk on something that seems a little unclear at this time. Um, but let's see. I'm curious if the Queen of Swords will come out or other cards of clarity, which we will obviously find out about. I'll also get you some charms too. What else do we have here for you? I am getting something about almost now. This is randomly specific. They all are, right? Um, and like an irritation or an agitation with um, fake spirituality. I don't know how else to say it. So there is something here coming up with regard to that, and it could be from a person like in some sort of authority, and or maybe you get a revelation or news that someone maybe that even that was held in high regard uh, is they weren't not truthful in some way. So let me see what else we have. Like it could tie to spirituality, though, is what I'm saying. Um, what else we have? Okay. Oh, an octopus. Okay. So that's like, I mean, octopus, they're very intelligent, right? Of course, they have 8 limbs. Eight can be the number of self. Octopus can have to do with uh, maybe feeling torn in some way, different directions. But really, the octopus is about maybe having to deal with something that is pretty complex and requires you to also be sort of chameleon like, like having to kind of you may even feel like you have to camouflage your intelligence for some reason. So, yeah, interesting message there. Let's see, Libra. Let's see for Libra. I'm going to be having your intuition and your intelligence may be really necessary in April. Libra, we actually start the month out on April 1st with a full moon in our sign. So, yeah. And then with all this Aries energy, I feel like it is supportive, especially if you've been dealing with things, that have just been making you feel very drained, too many burdens, responsibilities. I feel like you're going to be getting like kind of renewed strength even. We have nostalgia. All right. So this is taking time to heal and let go of the past so you can embrace a new phase in your life and take the leap. Now, I was seeing a frog, and that can have to do, in one of my decks, it has to do with awakening, but frog can also have to do with prosperity and, yeah, taking the leap and, just, I'm picking up on like, strategic planning when it comes to a creative endeavor that could be connected to your abundance, and it may have something to do with like beauty or something that you make that's pretty or some other beautification. I mean, that's so Libra, right? Is that even one of the cards on the let's see. So our key words here, Libra, are love, balanced, indecisive, sweet, peaceful, diplomatic, graceful, partnerships, aesthetics, truth, and charm. Okay, so yeah, we'll be using our sword of truth and clarity this month. When are we not, right? But it looks like the answers are coming in. So if there's something here that's been confusing about a situation or a person, you will get the answers you seek. And it could have to do with, wrapping something up from the past. I'm getting a name like Julia or Juliet. I think I hear the name Sonia too. And then we have no here. So this is saying no to anything that feels toxic or tainted offers, any influences around you that are harmful. And I want to get a clarification. Whenever I get that card, I try to get a clarification too. And then it's wait. So not now is what it is. It's not now. Okay, so not feeling rushed to make a decision. Libra, getting that clarity and those answers before you move into something new, or something different, or just even staying in the same thing. It's like you're going to need to really make time for the quiet and get those answers for yourself. Okay, not being too influenced here. I feel like I want to say, Libra knows best when it comes to this. Like you really do know best. Not rushing a decision. Oh, look at you, though. I saw the Chariot, so we will take it. Chariot card, Cancerian energy, but then there were just too many other cards here. So I I'm getting someone almost like wanting you to stick around, because I'm clairaudiently, I am hearing that. Like, hey, Libra, can you stick around? So it might be that they're wanting you to help heal a situation or be sort of a mediator in some way. And that's something, hey, we are diplomatic, right? But that's not necessarily a responsibility. This could connect to family in some way, a group, obviously. If I'm talking about others, it could be a group dynamic. But I feel like there's this energy of needing to move forward anyway. Like you're needing to kind of, have your own success and not be sort of roped into something that it's like, I get you saying, I know where this is going. Like this road always leads to the same place. So now maybe you're finding something different and you're waiting it out until you do have that better offer. So these readings can pertain to any area of your life. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. So here's a more stable offer coming in. It's, not a quick get rich quick scheme, if you want to call it that. It's more connected, even though it's the Knight of Pentacles, it does feel more connecting to something that is kind of like Knight of Cups. It feels like you're following your heart here. And that just then happens to lead to greater abundance in some area of your life. It's not always money, but it feels like you're going to feel like you have more abundance and wealth just because you're more aligned. All right. And the Chariot can also have to do with alignment. Hierophant. Yeah. Libra, what you know, right? I say this a lot on the other channel too, but you have the wisdom, and I feel like you're being called upon for your wisdom, but at the same time you're like, no, I'm really trying to put my energy into what I'm trying to do and grow, and I'm working really hard, and I can't be sidetracked. That's what it feels like. Some of you could be too looking for outside assistance when it comes to a startup or just some other I get kind of a commitment kind of energy. You could be wanting to get a little more information on something before committing, and that is absolutely recommended here, Libra. I almost feel like someone tries to kind of back you into a corner or involve you in something, and it's like, you're busy working on those pentacles, you've got stuff to do. So 8 of Pentacles, yeah, like holding that dream in your mind, or that even a high standard, holding that high standard in your mind. And you're not like, um, you know, going to the level of someone else. It's like you have your standard, and either they'll come to you with that same standard, or they'll go somewhere else, or they won't. I think I'm picking up on almost like you sort of teasing out who your ideal client would be or something, almost like you don't want not everybody can have your time. It feels like it just isn't going to work. So you really considering, or maybe this is actual advice from spirit coming in, that maybe you considering who it is you really want to work with, not just, oh, I'm going to work with everybody. So there could be a change or a shift regarding that. I know that's very specific, right? But yeah, overall though, 8 of Pentacles is really diligence. You're working on something you really care about. We have the 10 of Wands, and with it, we have the 9 of Swords. Now, it's interesting those wanted to come out together. I feel like because none of the other cards did. So it's like taking on too much or having responsibilities that are simply not yours, that are taking you away from your work or not allowing you to be in your most mentally agile state, I guess I'll call it, like, anything taking away your power or your ability to see things clearly and make good decisions. It could be lack of sleep or something in your diet or hormones or whatever it is, for you, or family stuff or just anything, or working too much in a setting that is not aligned for you. I feel like that's like taking away from this other thing that definitely feels more aligned and could even lead to actual financial gain. So removing yourself from anything that feels like you're just going round and round. Like I said, where this road leads. So I feel like you're choosing a new direction. You're going in a whole new direction. Okay. You're, you know, like shifting, making the proper adjustments, that need to be made so that you're not the one carrying all the responsibility here in a certain situation. Look what it gets you. It gets you an Ace of Pentacles here. This is like, then you have that opportunity. It's kind of like you're showing the universe. This actually goes here. You're showing the universe that, you've given the opportunity, if given the chance, you are going to put everything you have into it. It's almost like signaling to the universe that you're a wise investment for it, like, if you give me the chance, and maybe that's what you're praying for, something like, give me this opportunity and I promise I'll make the most of it, because maybe you too felt like you know either haven't had a lot of opportunities or feeling as though it just hasn't, it just like it hasn't aligned, or maybe last time something came in, you either felt like you didn't have enough experience, or you couldn't free yourself up from something else. I just feel like there was kind of like an obstacle last time, and now you're wanting another try at something, but it's like different this time. It's better. I feel like you're in a better place. So that, may not resonate with everybody, but that is what's coming in forward. Libra. Oh my gosh, you have an Ace of Cups. The only other sign that had on two aces was Virgo. And so maybe if you're on that cusp, I mean, this looks really good. This is when I see the Ace of Cups, I do think of all the nice things and tune into that. Like other people say, like, yeah, creativity, a proposal, new love, new baby, new feelings, all the stuff. But it's like, none of that matters if you're not putting yourself first. Like, you have to also have your cup filled in anything that you're doing, because you can't sustain that long term. Speaking of long term, look at this. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So there's our long term. Now you have 11-11, because you have 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. So there's an 11. And then the aces are each one. So there's 11-11. So yeah, this is like, divine timing here, possibly. But something in the environment needs to change. Libra, you can't be the one that everyone goes to when they have a problem or they need something figured out, oh, we need your opinion on this, Libra. No, maybe Libra's focused on, these aces and things, and the 8 of Pentacles, and they're going to have to maybe figure it out on their own. But this is like you taking these opportunities and really making the most of these double aces, and for this overall abundance, long term. So this is long-term success, long-term stability. It's multiple opportunities to do something better, new, more aligned, more fulfilling. Yeah, this is good stuff. All right, so I want to see if there's anything else here we need to tune into. I get sort of, Libra, that you're sort of like using your voice sparingly. Again, maybe you're only getting involved when absolutely necessary, but I get that you're not, I kind of get that maybe you're more reflective for a little while starting out this month. Let's see. Back to the astrology, though, we do have the full moon in our sign beginning of the month. Then just a quick overview. We have on April 9th, Mars goes into Aries. And so there could just be a noticeable shift in the energy, I feel like. Then we have new moon on the 17th, and that's going to be in the sign of Aries. A lot's going to be in Aries. And I feel like that's actually good for us, being an air sign. I feel like we do actually work well together if we know how to use that energy, because I do feel like there's just more power coming in. Be mindful of impulsivity, or letting someone even put words in your mouth. I'm feeling that too. Or skipping self-care. Be very mindful that you have to implement a lot of self-care strategies this month, especially. There's going to be a lot of a change in a shift in the energy. It feels like, and then the on let's see, for 26, it looks like we're going to have Uranus in Gemini, and that's a fellow air sign. And I do feel like if communication has been stuck or delayed, or maybe that's when you'll feel like using your voice a little more, but it feels kind of like maybe if it doesn't really matter, I feel like you're not going to let it affect you. And so that's, I feel, a really good strategy to have. What else do we have for Libra? Mm, well, I'm looking. If you would please do me a favor, like the video, hype, comment, a little heart even is great. If any emoji, subscribe, all that really does help. Well, I'm seeing that frog again. I wonder if that's because you had two aces. It's like you got two opportunities. So this is looking good. All right. Just be mindful traveling, take all the safety precautions, that sort of thing. And I'm getting the letter R, like Rachel, Rebecca, Ron, Rhonda. Uh, okay. And now, let me know what you think too with the crystal ball, with the scrying. Um, yeah. And I'm not going to edit out the weight here because I want you to see that this is, real time and it's the real deal. It's not some made up thing. So this is all real time as usual. You know me. So um, I get this message about trying to figure out if something is genuine. It could be you send away for a crystal and you're trying to figure out if it's real, but there's something here about the authenticity. Remember I think it was your sign, at the very beginning, where I was getting this thing, completely different vision though in this crystal, about like someone almost like fake spirituality or something. So, or just being kind of annoyed by maybe how things are like, people claiming to be spiritual and they're not, or something, like in the day to day, and just like being mindful of that. Or yeah, or it could, like I said, be something where you're like, is this real? Like, as far as something you're seeing with your own eyes, you could be asking yourself, is this really what is, like, seeing is believing was a phrase that was coming in. And of course people say, well, believing is seeing, and that's true, but there's something here about um, you might be asking yourself this month, are my eyes playing tricks on me? So maybe you see something cool in the sky, or you see, you know but yeah, so that's that for now. I think we'll be good for that for this reading. And let's go ahead and get a future higher self card. Yeah, I haven't really showcased the crystals. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to share that aspect of what I do, like publicly, but I think it's time. And I think I'm, I've practiced with it, so I'm quicker, I think, than, and because I don't want people waiting for minutes at a time. And I feel like I figured out a way to make it work, and also make it into a condensed video. So anyway, yeah. So hopefully you enjoy that. I know I'm loving it. I feel like it's definitely adding and helping the readings a lot. So all right, there's a path you're meant to be on. Trust it. Oh, Libra. Yeah. Okay, and explore the possibilities. Learn when to say no. Avoid clutter. Slow down. Quiet the mind. Yeah. That's and unfortunately I do feel there's going to just be like a lot of communication this month, um all around the board, so like everybody's going to be feeling it. So I do feel that, so just being mindful of that, but very powerful times. All right, I don't know why I said that. Yeah. All right, Libra, for Libra, powerful times for what? Let's figure out. Surrendering your need to always be right. What? We're always, oh, forget that. No, I'm just kidding. So this is giving others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This could help resolve conflicts and improve relationships. And surrender the magic of, okay, that's the power. Surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. And remember, you're a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you, Libra. Your galactic angel message is be all you can be. Virgo had this too. Step into your potential and be open to succeed. Yes, you do have multiple success here. Oh, and take off the blindfold, see the truth in front of you. The planets are aligning and the impossible will become possible. You know, it can be hard to believe sometimes during these times, tumultuous times here, but and all the decks I use are down below, obviously. So 1616, sign of willpower, focus on your strengths and determination. And then 999, a sign of completion. You're finishing a chapter to start the next. Again, I really feel someone's calling upon your leadership skills too. I'm just, yeah, just kind of further indicates that for me personally. All right. All right. Ooh, butterfly. Virgo had this too. And you watched me shuffle, and I shuffle and clear the decks energetically after every reading. So, yeah, butterfly release card, crown chakra card 44. Time to let go of what has served its purpose. Allow your next level self to emerge. Yes, reveal your true colors to the world. Now, Libra, you have the word true and truth multiple times in your reading. So just, again, like being mindful of if something really is the truth or not, and not being dishonest or running away from ourselves in some way, not deceiving oneself either comes into that. But I do feel this is also something going on in the external. And I don't talk politics here. I'm talking about like there's something in your immediate environment, possibly immediate environment, 10 of Pentacles, that you feel like it could just be affecting your day to day or your work or something like that. And it could even involve, yeah, like a person in authority or has control, like that or even that you're in a partnership with, and you're like wondering if if everyone's being truthful, really. So just kind of, what did it say? Like maybe stepping back and letting others kind of get all your analysis in, right? Get all the facts and stuff, like, as all I'm saying. We do that anyway, but it's coming in multiple times. Truth, truth, truth. You get answers. It's just, there's a lot of it coming in. So I have to mention it. Oh, look at this. We have Dolphin, Divine Birthright, Heart Chakra, card 28. Abundance is your true nature. There's nothing you need to do to deserve your heart's desires. Allow the universe to shower you with divine blessings. Yeah, divine blessings. I mean, I guess, those are the aces coming out of nowhere, right? Double divine blessings. Yeah. Double, double. All right. Let's see. Libra, I'm going to now get you some charms. So use your intuition for these. And again, you know how to show support if you enjoyed your reading. Thanks so much for being here. And your charms are, so use your own intuition, a dove with the olive branch, a letter that says, I love you, a little note, looks like a little gnome's house, a little mushroom type house, the star, and a crown. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here, Libra. Have a wonderful April.